guys, welcome to Beware the Awakening to get Hurricane Horror featuring our Gengar EX from Temporal Forces with Annoying Curse ability, putting 2 damage counter on your opponent's Pokemon whenever they attach an energy from their hand onto that Pokemon. It also has the Tricky Steps attack, hitting 160 damage for 2 darkness, allowing you to move an energy from your opponent's active Pokemon onto one of their bench. We've also got 2 Handheld Fan for the extra disruption, along with 1 Unfezant, 1 Espathra EX, and 1 Giovanni's Charisma. We're also playing 1 Munkidori for the damage transfer, 2 Calamitous Snowy Mountain for Pidove to play its emergency evolution ability, 1 Fezandipiti EX for the draw support along with 2 Explorer's Guidance, 2 Professor's Research, 2 Kofu, 2 Surfer, 2 Arven, and 1 Colress's Tenacity. Finally, we have 3 Rare Candy and 1 TM Evolution for Gengar, 1 Counter Catcher, 1 Redeemable Ticket, 1 Super Rod, and 1 Earthen Vessel with 7 Basic Darkness, 2 Luminous for Espathra, 1 Jet Energy for Unfezant, and 1 Neo Upper Energy. So that's all for the deck list. Now let's go for some gameplay and see how well this deck works. Okay, let's go for our first game with Hurricane Horror. So, Gengar being a stage 2 is a bit annoying, because we used to have Artazon, which is sort of the same ability, basically the same thing as a fossil. It's not easy to bench your fossil, but still, it's a stage 1, which means you get to stack a lot easier than you know, evolving more stage 2s of your Gengar EX. Pulling out more than a single copy is not easy. So instead of focusing on the evolution, with Grand Tree, we got our Neo Upper, just gonna help us attack fast with our Unfezant as well. So Unfezant gets to do opposing winds for 70 damage, putting 2 energy from your opponent's active Pokemon back into their hand, disrupting their flow, basically, you know, stopping them from attacking for at least 1 turn, and then you get to do 180 damage on your next turn with boundless power while punishing them when they reattach those energies from their hand by pulling out your Gengar EX. So we got no Plusle and Minun, we got instead Espathra to basically do a late game stall, while hopefully playing on our Munkidori to transfer those damage counters. We're only doing one copy of not just the Unfezant, but also our Espathra EX line, and 1 copy of the Munkidori. But we do have that redeemable ticket to help us get them from the prize if we get stuck there. You know, it's not easy to play the ticket though, just because if you do it at the wrong time, you might actually put cards that you need into the prize. If you, for example, have 4 prize cards remaining, and if you have a counter catcher that you need for later or for your next turn, at the top few cards of the deck, then you actually are putting that counter catcher into your prize. So it's actually pretty difficult to play sometimes. It's hard to decide when to use it or whether to even play it at all. But it's a risk, you know, it's a risk that you kind of have to do. You kind of have to play on, just because we only are doing 1 copy of quite a lot of key cards, as I said, which is why we need the ticket. So now we're playing Artazon for the Pidove. Pidove, as we all know, has the emergency evolution ability, which is pretty cool, allowing you to insta evolve into your Unfezant, which is a stage 2 Pokemon, if you have you know, 2 damage counters on it. If it has 30 or less HP remaining, and since it only has 50 HP, we can actually play Venture Bomb for the insta evolution. But for the next game, we don't have the Venture Bomb anymore. We actually have Janine for this game as well. We swapped it out for Giovanni's Charisma, just because we're doing Espathra now. We don't have Espathra for this game. We don't have Luminous Energy either. So Neo Upper doesn't work for Espathra, obviously, but I don't really want to play Legacy for Gengar. So Grand Tree is probably the better option, just because you get to stack a lot easier with that thing. But I'm trying to go a different route for Gengar EX, just because if you play your Neo Upper from the get-go, you could actually use your Basic Darkness or Luminous on your Munkidori and play on the transfer for the free ping, which is pretty cool, you know? If you get to do it every single turn. We got 2 Switch and a Jet, so Surfer is not bad. It helps you draw cards as well. We got the TM Evo for our Gengar with 2 Haunters, so hopefully that's enough to satisfy the evolution line. They're doing a Porygon Z, pure Porygon Z with Sacred Ash and Petrol, with the Stadium card as well to help them draw 2 cards. And they got Reversal with the Team Rocket's Energy. Obviously, Porygon 2 needs 3 colorless, and that means if they have the Rocket's Energy attached, they need the Rare Candy evolution. If they can only evolve into the stage 1 at some point in the game, if they don't have the Rare Candy evolution, then they might actually need to dig for the reversal with Colress, but they're obviously doing Rocket supporter cards, so Ariana is gonna have to draw them out the reversal. If they don't get the reversal, if they had to discard it or something, then they need to candy evolve every single turn, and they're doing Brilliant Blender though, so I don't think they get to play Grand Tree for Porygon Z. Again, the Evo wouldn't be too bad for any stage 2 decks, but I feel like they could actually play 𝑽𝒊𝒂𝒓𝒄𝒂𝒄𝒂𝒄, although it's giving off 2 prize, but it does help them discard a lot faster. They have the Transceiver as well to help them mass dump that bloody supporter. They need 14 for 280 damage. 20x is not a lot, but they need to discard a lot, you know. They need to discard 15 for 300, 16. I don't think there's more than 16 Rocket supporter cards. We have Petrol, Ariana. What's the one that does the Marnie effect? I can't remember his name. Archer, right? Ariana, Archer, Petrol, Proton, and Giovanni. Okay, we do have 20. We have 20 Team Rocket supporter card, and that means if they have 16, it's enough to do a Dragapult EX knockout. If they have 17 is enough to kill off a Garchomp EX. So obviously Garchomp has the tool card though. They need the jamming tower, but I see the potential, I guess. Stage 2 is not really that great, but it does a one-hit knockout. Eventually, with their Reconstitute, they get to discard even more with the ability and help them draw an extra card into their hand, which isn't half bad, you know. So they gotta stack the evolution, they gotta evolve fast and consistently, while attaching the right energy for them to do, OHKOs non-stop. So the first hit is gonna be only 200, I think, if I'm not mistaken. They might just choose not to attack though, because they could be expecting a Munkidori since we are doing a Darkness deck, Darkness box. Not exactly a Darkness box, but you get the point. Any Poison or Dark decks has a Munkidori. Well, any decks that play Luminous for that matter. Can't go without the Dory these days. It's just an essential for any build that you're doing, for any top tier decks even. It's almost like a Fezandipiti at this point, right? Or might as well be a Nest Ball. Okay, so here it goes. 200 damage. Oh yeah. And we are moving the energy back to the Porygon. So the fan is actually gonna work against us for this game, unfortunately, because you don't actually get to choose though. You are forced to put an energy from their active Pokemon, from the attacking Pokemon, down onto one of their bench. You're forced to do the transfer, whereas with tricky steps with Gengar's attack, you get to choose whether to move the energy or to just keep them on their active. So fan is sometimes not the best card to play just because it's not always gonna help you, I guess. But when it does though, it's gonna do some serious disruption with your opposing wins as well. Unfezant can put back quite a lot of energies. If you attach your handheld fan on the Unfezant and then play Espathra on the next turn, immediately after they KO your Pheasant, you could actually lock them for a couple turns, you know? And then possibly do the knockout with your Espathra or even play Countercasher or something. Target one of their bench before playing tricky steps, evolving your Gengar at the right time. You know, by the time you get your Espathra, you would probably have your second Gengar in play, hopefully. After they knock out your first one or something, whatever. Like, you could actually attack with your Pheasant while keeping Gengar on the bench dormant. Obviously, you want to be attaching energies on the bench at the same time. Maybe play Giovanni's Charisma, put the Neo Upper, attach the Neo Upper with the Charisma onto your Pidove. If you have the Stadium in play as well, if you have the Stadium in your hand, you wouldn't need to play Colress's Tenacity. You could actually play Giovanni's Charisma, but it's actually pretty hard to have both the Special Energy and the Stadium in your hand along with the Pidove in the active. But if you are lucky enough for that to happen, you could actually attach the extra energy from your hand onto your benched Gastly or Haunter. So it's a lot easier, I guess, to play Janine for Gengar, but I still like Giovanni just because there's an extra disruption flavor to it. It's kind of like a triple stack for disruption. We got Espathra's Dazzling Gleam ability, we got the Opposing Winds, Tricky Steps, Handheld Fan, and also Giovanni's Charisma, which can be pretty fun to play. So on that note, I think I'm just gonna end the voiceover right here. And if you guys focus on the game, please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. If you find this combo interesting, drop comments down below about what you guys think of Gengar EX's potential in the current meta. And we'll see you next time. Have a great day and bye everyone!